Okay, so then in 2016, at number 10, I have Pokemon Go. So these are 10 games that I played this year. Pokemon Go is a game that I occasionally still play, but not really lately. I think last year I played it a lot, but they keep adding stuff like raids and stuff that don't really appeal to me, honestly. So yeah, it was fun while it lasted, and then at number 9 I have Metro Prime Federation Force, and it's the same story as Triforce Heroes, Just not a big fan of co-op, which is a shame because I like Metroid probably more than Triforce Heroes, and Federation Force seems fun. I really want like 2 people to play with, and then it's probably really fun to play. But at the same time, I feel like Metroid is a solo experience. I want to be like immersed in the world and be by myself. But when you do that in this game, you have to do 3 times as much in each stage, and it takes too much. It's not fun. So I'll finish it eventually because it's a good game. Honestly, it's better than Triforce Heroes in my opinion. And I've beat like a couple of stages, so I'm like a couple of ways there probably, but it's like I said, I don't really like co-op, but it was still a decent game. Then I have Pokemon Moon at 8, and it's a fun game, but it's probably the worst mainline Pokemon game that I've played. I don't like that they remove gyms. I don't like the environment, like the island. The new Pokemon, I didn't really like that much either. And I had Pokemon Moon, which at first I thought was cool because it's night more than daylight, but honestly, that's not that fun in the video game. And at the same time, it's night there when it's day here. And that was kind of annoying because I play a lot at night. And then it was day in my game. And it was so confusing. I think playing Pokemon Sun is more fun, honestly. It makes more sense to have the regular daylight at times that it's in real life. Then at 7, I have Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is a fun game. I like the Tomb Raider reboot trilogy. I think the first Tomb Raider was more fun though. More tombs, more adventure, and this was more just like shooting and story, and it was more linear, I guess, and every tomb was optional, and that wasn't really all that fun. So Rise of Tomb Raider, still a great game. Great story, probably a better story than the first one, but it was really story focused, so that makes sense. Then Rhythm Paradise Megamix, or Rhythm Heaven Megamix in America, it's at 6. This game was really fun. I've never played a Rhythm Paradise game before, so the fact that this was like a mix of a lot of older minigames, that was really fun for me. I really enjoyed myself. I'm not that great at rhythm games. I probably won't play that many other rhythm games because I'm really not rhythmic. I like my reaction time in games is decent, but I don't really have a rhythm. But this was kind of easy, and it was fun, and it reminded me of WarioWare because it's from the same developers, so I had a lot of fun with this. Then at number 5, I have Downwell. Downwell is an indie game where you go in like a well, and you have to keep going down a well while jumping on enemies, shooting them, and that way getting like a high score. And that score, that gives you money. And then you can go into shops occasionally and buy extra life and stuff like that. And it's a game where if you game over, you have to play the whole game again. You have to go to level 1 again. I think I've almost beat the game once, but that's the furthest I've come. It's a tough game, but it's really addictive because you keep wanting to go further, and you can unlock like palette swaps. The game usually is mostly in red and black, but you can get like a blue color swap or a red one or like a Game Boy one. That makes it really addictive and fun. I've played it on mobile a lot, but also on Steam, and I have it on Switch now as well. It's like a €2 game, $2. It's really cheap. I recommend it to everybody. It's just really addictive and fun. You can play it on any system. I'm pretty sure it's also on Xbox and PlayStation, but it's also now on Switch, Steam, and mobile. And I love it a lot. I still play it sometimes on my phone when I'm kind of bored. At number 4, I have Star Fox Zero, which you might say is pretty high, but I just really had a lot of fun with it. A lot of people didn't really like the motion controls, but it took like an hour for me to get used to it. But when I got used to it, it was really fun. I like the original Star Fox 64, which this game is kind of based on. But I think Star Fox Zero might be more fun. I'm not sure, because Star Fox 64 was their first, and it's a more simplified type of gameplay, of course. But I just like the gameplay. It's fun to have to switch between the gamepad and the screen. I know that's not for everybody. I got kind of dizzy because of it sometimes, like lightheaded, I mean. But it's just fun. It's just fun to switch between the gamepad and the TV, you know. And I like gyro controls, and I like the immersion that it gives you when you have to watch the gamepad and then the screen, and you could only really precisely aim through the gamepad, and that was fun. But then at the same time, you have to like keep track of what's going on around you on the screen. And yeah, like I said, it takes a bit getting used to, but it was fun. And you know, Star Fox is a short experience. I beat it in like 5 hours or maybe 10 or something. I think 5. Yeah, 5 hours or maybe even less. But that's the fun of it. It's just, you know, you don't really have to get used to the gameplay as much as you think, because it's just a short game, you know. And then once you get used to it, it might be fun to like play the arcade mode again. Then at number 3, I have Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD. And Twilight Princess probably is my second favorite Zelda. Maybe third. Definitely Skyward Sword is my favorite. So I hope that gets the HD remake treatment sometime. And then I guess it's the tie between Twilight Princess and Ocarina of Time. So, you know, you could say that I like the traditional 3D Zelda a lot. Like when it's less open world and more dungeon based. And when the combat and the gameplay is like priority. I like that a lot. Twilight Princess is like a beautiful world. It's kind of dark, but they fixed that in the Wii U version. So, you know, that's good. They made the Poe collecting better because you have like this light item that lights up when they're nearby. So I finally was able to beat the game 100%. So now, because of that, it's like a much improved game. The dungeons are great in Twilight Princess. The story is great. It's like really dark and powerful. And it's fun that Link is just like a normal kid who grew up on a farm or something, and then all of a sudden like he had this like purpose and he changed into a wolf. And I like everything about Twilight Princess. I just love it. And the HD version is so much better. I'm probably never gonna go back to the original version, even though I kind of liked the Wii version because you had to like swing your sword with your Wii remote. But at the same time, that wasn't really done as well as like in Skyward Sword because it didn't have Motion Plus. So, you know, the Wii U version is definitely the definitive version. Then at number 2, I have another remake, and it's another Metroid 2 remake. And that's not an official game. It was a fan project. It was a remake of Metroid 2. And it was done by a fan all by himself. And it took him 10 years. There was a demo beforehand, playable. And a lot of people didn't believe that the game was going to be finished because the guy did it by himself and it was a large project, which is why it took him 10 years. The game is so impressive that the developer got a job at, like he works for the Ori and the Blind Forest games now. And that's really impressive. That's how good the job the guy did. I just love the game. Metroid 2 doesn't have a map. It's not in widescreen. And it is an 8-bit. And the music is very simplified, very simple. It's creepy music and it fits, but it's just really simple and boring. And the guy made like a full Super Metroid-like game of it. Like it really has a level of like Super Metroid in terms of quality in it. So like I said, it has a map, it has 16 or maybe even 32-bit sprites. Colors are great, the environments, the music is amazing. Funnily enough, the year after that, Nintendo or Mercury's team made an actual remake by themselves of Metroid 2 called Samus Returns. I think I prefer the music of another Metroid 2 remake. I think I prefer a lot of things of another Metroid 2 remake, or AM2R for short. It's more a classic Metroid game, and it's like 1-to-1 for Metroid 2. Like, if there's a left turn and it has like a dead end, it's the same in AM2R. While in Samus Returns, they might have added some stuff, or they changed like the entire layout of that section. And I think that's, you know, to each their own. You know, both do, you know, Samus Returns is great because it adds something new, But AM2R is so great because it's a 1-to-1 remake, and I really appreciate that. And it allowed me to play Metro 2 finally, because I've tried the original Metro 2 a lot, but it never really... I got stuck a lot because it didn't have a map, and it wasn't really that much fun to play. So I love AM2R. It's great. Then at number 1, I have Overwatch. So that's for my 2016 list. I still play Overwatch to this day. I haven't really played it that much the last couple of months. I have a lot of games that I'm playing right now, and I'm probably waiting to buy the Switch version whenever I have time for it, and then continue playing it. I used to play it on PC a lot, but I probably prefer the Switch version now. Yeah, it's just a great game. I love the characters. There's so much variety. You can play it casually, decently well, and you can play it competitively, and it really holds up, you know. It's still fun to this day, 3 years later.